Hey friends, Diane here. Each day's prayer touches on a different topic. For instance, the title for day 2 is When You Feel Like a Failure as a Parent. It goes on to pray about releasing what has happened in the past and looking forward to what God can and is doing in the present and future. For instance, the prayer says, "Because I can't change what has already happened, I pray that you will open my heart to new things you are doing so that I do not dwell on the past." The full verse Mr. Banks points out says, "Forget the former things and do not dwell on the past." And that is such a major help when we are struggling with a prodigal. You see, the enemy wants nothing more than for us prodigal parents to get caught up in the shoulda, coulda, wouldas of life. Yet if we get stuck in the regrets of the past, how can we move forward and truly help our children now? We cannot. So this prayer that also reminds us that God's grace is sufficient helps us take actions today to help our children come back to God and find His path for their lives. And this is a key to these prayers, mind you. It is not to get our prodigals to do whatever we want them to do, but to connect them with God, who will show them His way for their lives. This is kind of an important point that I don't want to just fluff over. A prodigal child is one who is rebelling against God and His truth. It is not a child who simply has a different plan for their lives than what mom and dad may have wanted. For instance, if parents dreamed of their child going to med school, but the child has no interest in the medical field, but would rather seek a different occupation, that is usually not a prodigal. If, however, a child begins to experiment with drugs, or is promiscuous, or is seeking shady ways to make a buck, then we are talking about a prodigal. The goal is to unite this troubled child with God, who is the only one who can help straighten them out. This doesn't mean that we pray, then throw up our hands and do nothing practical. We must listen to God's guidance and obey whatever He moves us to do. This means we must work on our own relationship with God too. Praying for our prodigal not only connects God to them, but to us as well. Let's continue tomorrow. See you then.